My name is Adrian Nanchev, and this channel is all about helping you become a remarkable entrepreneur. And I'm talking about how to create the perfect job for you. Well, the perfect job doesn't exist because it's not a job. A lot of people want the perfect job, working as little hours as possible and getting the most amount of money. Essentially trading their hours for money. The perfect job doesn't truly exist because, and this is going to be quite deep and probably a little mini ranty as well, people want employment. People talk about the poor getting exploited by the rich or by their employers. People talk about how they want the best job possible, but they don't know how to find it or don't know where it is. The best job possible is you working on your dream, working on your passion, monetizing it, and changing the world in your own way. Enabling your vision change the world. The best job is when you have your own business or your own venture that is built around you, built around what you're passionate about, built around what you care about, and helping the people you want to work with, and hiring people that you want to work with as well. That's the best job. You see, a lot of people will start a business and make the money. A lot of entrepreneurs will talk about being financially free, and a lot of people will talk about being financially stable. But what they don't understand is a lot of rich people retire into their job. They have the business that they love, the job that they love. They're the founder, the CEO of their own business, and they will retire into it. There's an old proverb that talks about when you love the work you're doing, you'll never work a day in your life again. When you love the business you've started, when you like who you're working with and what you're selling, then you're never truly working a day again. A lot of people will complain about their boss, about their job, about their colleagues. They'll piss and moan about the union, about the customers, about all sorts of things. They'll blame their problems on other people, on other things, their situation, the people they're working with, the economy, their employer, the customer, the market, whatever. But they won't ever blame themselves. They won't ever look introspective and say, what can I do? What am I doing wrong? What don't I see? What do I need to do? How can I be different? How can I change? How can I be a different person 12 months from now? They're not always thinking about how they can be different, what they're doing wrong. When you think about what you're doing wrong, you can then think about how to correct it. And they need people talk about wanting a better job, but the way to correct that will be to start their own business. When they start their own business, they can work with whoever they want and do whatever they want. They can sell whatever they want. Not everyone dares to do that. People will complain about capitalists, about the economy, about the politicians, but they won't see. But the answer is staring them in the face. The answer is online everywhere. It's start your own business, be an entrepreneur, do something with your passion and your skill and your talents. There are a lot of people who would have lost their job or made redundant that had skill in like craftsmanship in one form or another, as an artisan or a blacksmith or something, or a carpenter. Yeah, if only they took that talent and monetized it, built a brand around it, did their own stuff with it, they could change their life. I knew someone who was 60 years old, actually, a few years ago, when I was first getting into business, I did this 1-week course with the charity about understanding business and understanding company law and stuff like that. Ultra basics. And there was a guy there that was 60 years old. And he'd been an electrician for his entire life. And he had some back problems. And he used to talk about how he got back problems because he was always bending low, looking at the plugs and the sockets and all the rest. And he had to have someone else on his team who was like half his age, roughly my age or something, to do the physical labour for him. He was doing the same job for 40 odd, 50, maybe 40 odd years. And never once did it occur to him that he could have started his own business. He could have, when he hit 30, he could have said, I'm going to start my own electrical repair company. I'm going to sit in the office, take the phone calls, handle the customers and the payment processing and all the rest, the paperwork, admin. I'm going to hire people who are in their late teens, early 20s, mid 20s to go out there and do the physical work for me. as opposed to me going out working for someone who's roughly my age doing the work for him. When you're an entrepreneur, you are your own boss. Entrepreneurs will do the work that no one else is willing to do. No one else will do it, so in the future they can live the life no one else can live. A lot of people will live by this 40-40-40 rule that I talk about. They will work 40 hours a week for 40 years, and because of inflation, their savings will be worth 40% less. It's not the kind of life that I want, and is it the kind of life you really want? Working for someone else for 40 hours a week, essentially working on another entrepreneur's dream. That's not what I want in my life. I want to be my own boss, be my own person, be in charge of my own future and finances and destiny. There's a thing called a regret minimization framework. Regret minimization framework. When I first started out being an entrepreneur, this is like mid to late summer 2014, I realised that in the future, if I looked back at 2014 and I chose not to be an entrepreneur in 2014, I would look back with regret. I would say, why didn't I become an entrepreneur? I had the opportunity, chance, health. There was no excuse not to be an entrepreneur. I could picture myself age 60 odd and saying, I wish I had done that. I wish, X, Y and Z. Regret minimization framework is to project yourself into the future, 20, 40, 60, 80, 100 years into the future, and say, looking at my entire life from the big picture, what do I regret doing? What do I regret? And I could see myself regret not starting a business, not being an entrepreneur, not doing what I wanted to do, and instead being subservient to someone else, being an employer. I could predict that. So you got to ask yourself, what kind of regrets will you have on your current course in life? What will you regret? What will you regret? What will you regret? That's why I became an entrepreneur, and that's why I recommend to get the perfect job you want, you got to find your passion, build a business around it, monetize it, and imprint your vision, your passion into the world and make a difference. What is this channel about? About helping you become a remarkable entrepreneur. So my vision behind all this is to help other people become remarkable entrepreneurs. That's what I'm doing with my time, my energy, to make a difference in the world. I'm creating this content that makes a difference in the world. I believe that's everything. If this is your first time to the channel, subscribe, because this channel is all about helping you become a remarkable entrepreneur. So subscribe and you'll see me again soon. How cool is that?